Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's 8:34 on Monday morning. Yep, it's Monday morning. We are here looking to see what the market has to offer us on this Monday morning. Yes. What are we doing? Oh, cool. What are we doing? Monday morning. It's Monday. We're here. I'm here. You're here. We're here. Let's let the platforms tell the people that we're here so that way they can all come on in the room. We want everybody to come on in the room. Yeah. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Janae. Good morning. All is well. You know what? Jesus is on the throne and he is in charge of all. I trust him with it all because there is a all. If your life is anything, your life is lifing because life. That's what lives do. They life. If your life is lifing, there's a it all going on. Okay, there's always a it all going on. So I'm trusting him with it all. Lord, I trust you with it all. Them phone calls come in the evening, and the first thing they say is, anyway, you can't jump in and then just be on 10 with them because they call you on 10. You try to not be on 10, but you see the situation because they put you on FaceTime and you see the situation around them and you want to be on 10 too. But you're like, I can't be on 10 with you because I can't be on 10. Lord, you know what's going on over there. Please handle what's going on over there. It's the children. Anybody in this call got grown children? Any of y'all got grown children? Trust you, Lord. I trust. I have prayed and said, Lord, please use circumstances and situations to get my children on their path. And he will do his good work. And he is doing his good work using circumstances and situations to get my children, our children, on their paths. And it's hard to watch. Sometimes, Lord Jesus, sometimes it's hard to watch. I say it's hard to watch. Yes, it's hard to watch. Sometimes it's hard to watch. But because I trust him, I'm going to watch him do it. And then at the end, we're going to have a testimony about it. On the backside of it, we're going to have a testimony. The test has to come first. Miss Marsha says, oh, yes, to the grown kids. Grown kids, yeah. I tell you, I know y'all know Miss Marsha, Melissa. I know y'all know about the grown kids. Some of y'all don't have children, I realize, but even y'all watch people with grown kids. So y'all know how it goes. Y'all already know. All right, let's see what's going on in this stock market. I've told myself I have to focus on the things I have to focus on because some of the stuff I can focus my energy on that I won't say I have control over, but I have a lot more. I'll use the word control, but I use it loosely. There's some things I have control over. What I'm doing in the stock market, I have control over what I'm doing in the stock market. Other stuff around me, I ain't got control over all that. I call them grown. Yes, them grown. Yes. They grown till they need something from you. Then they mommy. That's when then you become mommy. Any other time it's mom. But when they need you, it's mommy. So let's go on and see what the market is doing this week. Now, I got to cover two things. I've got to cover what happened last week a little bit, and I've got to cover where we are this morning. So y'all give me a little bit of space and time because we didn't have our call yesterday evening because we were coming back from handling what's happening with another one of our children. So we did not have our call yesterday with what happened, this week in the market. So we'll show all the pieces in the parts. So let me share my screen so that way we can see where we are. Let me see if we got the right screen sharing. Yep, there we do. Okay, this morning, the VIX is at 19.31. What that mean? What does it mean when the VIX is up? Okay, the VIX in the 19s, when the markets is not. When the VIX is at 19, fear meter high, volatility meter high, That means the market is generally not high. No, no, no. Hey, Lisa, when the VIX is up, the market is usually not. Okay, so the VIX is at 19 this morning. That gives us good premiums as sellers because we like the good premiums when we're selling. So this means we got good premiums as sellers. So that will work that. But the volatility also means that we got a little more wild swings. All right, so keep that in mind. All righty. Yahoo, this one today, or this is the start of our tariffs era. Okay. U.S. says rare earth talks with China are halfway there. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer said rare earths were a key focus in recent U.S. China trade talks. U.S. stocks climb as traders eye Fed rate cuts. Fed rate cuts. We didn't talk last week. They said they were keeping them steady. Anyway, Trump to name a new Fed governor. Whatever. Jobs data ahead in coming days. One thing, and I don't know how, there's been scuttlebutt, that we might see a little bit of a bounce in the prices, just kind of like a dead cat bounce, just to drop. So just y'all know me. What do I always say every day? Trade what you see. They of course want everybody to jump back in calls thinking we seen the bottom. Let's run back into some calls so they can get you and then snatch that money and then drop it again. So I just don't want that for you. One of the things we do as sellers is we trade day to day in our membership. In my membership, we trade 0 DTE. We trade what we see today. We do have some trades that we will sometimes swing overnight, or we will swing for the week at times, but mainly we do 0 DTE for that very reason, because we just going to trade what we see today. All right. Tesla approves near $30 billion stock award for Musk. Oh, okay. Lilly's push to $1 trillion is derailed by trade risk, obesity drug speed bumps. That obesity drug is a thing. Hims and hers, I think they have earnings coming, is a big thing going. Morgan Stanley's Wilson, buy stocks dip on earnings strength. Tesla's brand loyalty collapse after Musk backed Trump. Yeah, a lot of people wasn't for that. Joby to acquire Blade Air's passenger business, jobs market worries in focus as earnings season rolls in. U.S. Treasury rally pauses with $125 billion on bond sales due. Lyft, China, Baidu to launch robo-taxi service in Europe. See if anything else on here is interesting that we want to talk about. Meatpacker Tyson Food raises annual revenue forecast on resilient chicken demand. Billionaire pleads guilty on gift scandal that rattled Singapore. Okay, so that's what happened on the markets. Expect the Fed rate cut in September. Well, we'll see. There's that. That's Yahoo Finance. That's what we talked about there. CNBC. And I may hold up on CNBC till we get a little bit closer, but let me tell you what it says now, and then I'll leave it open and then swing back to it. Right now, Dow futures and S&P futures and NASDAQ futures are all green. They're pretty good, little green, 0.5%, 0.8% on NASDAQ. Stock futures jump as Wall Street tries to recover from post-jobs report sell-off. It wasn't just the post-jobs report. That ain't what the sell-off. They trying to blame it on the post-jobs report. That ain't the only thing that caused the sell-off, right? In Europe, we got all green over there. Lloyd shares jump 8% as UK car finance ruling brings sector relief. Asia, we're all green except for the Nikkei. Asia stocks mostly climb higher as investors weigh tariffs, OPEC, output hike. Crypto, all green except for Bitcoin, which is at 114,000. Again, I'm going to leave this open. I'll swing back to the pre-market numbers again soon. All right, let's talk calendar. This week, we don't have a whole lot happening as far as red folders and such. Today at 10, we got factory orders, loan officer survey is tentative. Tuesday, trade balance. We don't need to see the part over there. We need to see the words. Trade balance, final services PMI, ISM services PMI. This is all Tuesday, right? That's the only red folder is the ISM services PMI. Wednesday, we got crude oil inventories, 10-year bond auction, which really should be at least orange, most likely red. That does seem to cause a little more of a stir. FOMC member Collins, Cook, and Daly will all speak on Wednesday. Daly doesn't speak till after market closes, but that's on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got unemployment claims. That's the red folder. non-farm productivity, labor costs, wholesale inventories, natural gas, 30-year bond auction. We got an FOMC member speaking at 10, consumer credit at 3 o'clock on Thursday. Friday, we've got FOMC member Musalim speaking at 10:20. So all in all, not a lot of red folders happening. But again, we're still in a very news-driven market. So because of that, we have to watch and monitor the news, right? I want to say there's a site called, is it Financial Juice? Something like that. Is it Financial Juice? Let me look to see if that's what it's called. Financial Juice that you can see. Yeah, financialjuice.com, that you can see this more up to the minute news and announcements and what comes out, really like fresh news. Like on Friday, Financial Juice, along with other things, told us about the stuff that was happening when we put our submarines right along the coast of Russia. That came out right on Financial Juice, financialjuice.com. Maybe another place. Sometimes they get the news, or that news comes out, seems like a little bit quicker than CNBC. Maybe it's about the same, but it feels like it's quick. So maybe check that out, financialjuice.com. Financial Juice. Okay, I'm clicking that off. Anything happening today on investing.com that wasn't mentioned over there? The bill auctions, 3-month and 6-month. That's all. Nothing really over here in investing.com that needs to be mentioned. Okay, let's talk about earnings. Let's talk about earnings coming up this week. So we are still in earnings season, and some of the earnings this week will be noted. Okay, so this morning before market opens, we do have Berkshire Hathaway, Wayfair, BioNTech, onsemi, IEP, not sure who they are, Freshpet, Axum, TG Therapeutics, Tyson Meat is this morning, and IDEX Laboratories. This afternoon, after market closes, Palantir. Okay, people been looking at Palantir. So it's this after close today. Hims and Hers, another one that's been in the stock market, in the scuttlebutt, is Hims and Hers, the weight loss people, right? That's been, I think they offer the GLP tirzepatide stuff in a pill form, not in the shot form. I think that's one of the things, and that's only a think. I'm not real sure, but I've seen just the commercials. So that may be something. Mercado Libre, which is basically the Spanish version of Amazon, is also having earnings after market today. Axon, Navitas, Vertex, Bell Ring, BWXT, Lattice, and Thread Up. Those are all aftermarket closes today. Tomorrow morning, we've got Pfizer. Pfizer is tomorrow morning. Caterpillar tomorrow morning. Lemonade, BP, Duke Energy, Marriott, Esperion, Eaton, Recursion, and DuPont, all tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, after market closes, ding, 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 AMD and Supermicron, SMCI, that's all in the semi space. That's tomorrow after market closes. I'm sure those are anticipated. Arista, Open Door, Snap is tomorrow after market closes. Astra Labs, Upstart, Lucid, still hanging on in there. Rivian, this is a good one. Clover, those are all tomorrow, Tuesday, after market closes. Wednesday morning, we've got Uber, Shopify, Oscar. Oscar's been in the news. Isn't Oscar also in the pharmaceutical space as well? Oscar, I believe, is in the pharmaceutical space too. Novo Nordisk, Walt Disney, Six Flags, Geron, Dave, Geo Group, and McDonald's also Wednesday morning. Wednesday after close, AppLovin, IonQ, Duolingo. I like Duolingo. Symbotic, Vortinet, Elf, the beauty people, Energy Transfer, DraftKings for those who are betting. If you're in the stock market, you might feel like you're betting sometimes. Dutch Brothers, and Jack in the Box. It's all Wednesday after close. Thursday morning, D-Wave, Celsius. Those Celsius drinks are quite tasty, by the way. Lilly, ConocoPhillips, Hut 8, Vistra Energy, Sony, Establishment Labs, Peloton, which I thought was gone, but they still around. Brookfield, that's all Thursday morning. Thursday after close, The Trade Desk, Rocket Lab, Soundhound is Thursday. They need to run up a bit more so I can do what we do. New Scale, what's this? Kratos, KTOS, Block, Atlassian, Twilio, T2 or Take Two, and Pinterest is all Thursday, Friday morning before the market opens. Fubo, Tempest, Terra Wolf is WULF. That's the other wolf, WULF. FET, Wendy's, Canopy Growth, Calumet. I really thought that whole thing with cannabis was going to just take off. It was a few years ago. We was getting in on cannabis heavy because they was going to legalize it across the world. And then COVID came and cannabis got put on the shelf, even though, listen, if you can figure out a way to get into them cannabis dispensary businesses, that cash cow, you can do it. Okay. Canopy Growth, Calumet, Uchai, Dosibo, and Algonquin. Those are all the earnings for this week. Well, that's not all the earnings. What Earnings Whispers, thank y'all for putting together this graphic, Earnings Whispers. We appreciate it. They put together a nice graphic of the ones that are most anticipated, but the earnings list is massive. It's not just these things here. It's a lot of different things that are for earnings. Hey, my day, Littlefield. A lot of stuff that's on for earnings, not just this, okay? So those are all the earnings we're looking at for the week. Boom, 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 boom. I think we're ready to go to the slides. Or we're ready to go to a chart. Let's see where we at. 850. Yeah. Let's hit some slides and then we'll swing back to the charts. I want to go here first to show how we did on our credit spreads. We didn't have a long list last week. Our credit spreads list last week was fairly short because the ones I was trading were many of them that my trades list, many of them had earnings last week. So I paused them. I used Peakbot, as you see over here to the side. I used Peakbot. So I went into Peakbot and paused all the ones that had earnings. Earnings and credit spreads generally are like oil and water. They do not mix very well because of the binary event. If the price can pop one way or the other and can blow through a normal regular, are we trending up? Are we trending down? But it'll jump. An earnings call will make it jump and can jump you outside of the normal trend or range. So I paused those last week. So I had 5 last week that were not having earnings. So I just traded those 5. That was our list, which was fine because look at there. 5 out of 5, 100% win rate. Whoop, whoop. Woo, woo. We had 100% win rate last week on my little 5 list. Yes, we did. Okay. 100% win rate on the list from last week. And what I did on Friday, this past Friday, because I still let them trade mine, I still let Peakbot trade mine automated. And if you might want to consider that for yourself. I went in there on Friday and looked to see who had earnings coming up this week. And I paused those people. And then I turned on the ones that had been turned off last week that had earnings already. I unpaused those and I paused the ones that had earnings coming this week. So that way they wouldn't enter again and set them up for this week. Now, Peakbot enters the trades on Friday at 12 o'clock. It enters on Friday at 12 for the following Friday expiration. It enters on Friday at 12 for the subsequent Friday expiration. But Peakbot has more than just the trend spread bot. It's got a Shorebo, which is called Shorebo. They got 2 SPX bots. One SPX is pretty far away on a daily basis. And then they've got a Shorebo bot that kind of puts you closer to proximity. It's really going with the trend. I think the other one is more of an Iron Condor SPX, and one is going with the trend. That's the one I'm beta testing is Shorebo. It basically enters you into the trade in the morning. But this is what I'm saying all that to say. When you join Peakbot, I'm going to put my link is on the screen there, but I'm also going to put it on into the comments so you can click on it. When you join Peakbot, you are able to use any of their bots, all with your one entry price. Okay? You can go in there and you can say, okay, I want to do the short bowl with $500 because one contract. I want to do that. I want to do the trend spread bot and they've got multiple bots and they're continuing to add them along the way. You can say, I want to do more than one thing. Your one payment, you paid your one monthly subscription. I believe it's $99 a month. Your one subscription has you, allows you to use all the different bots. All right. If you use my link there, you get a 25% discount if you do that. All right. So there's that. All right. That was last week. Now I want to talk a little bit about this right here. This right here. This right here. This right here. SPX 0 DTE results for the month of July. Yes, sir. If you follow me on social media, you've probably seen this graphic, but the month of July, it was giving, as the kids say, it was giving. It's not kids anymore. The adults are also saying it. I say the kids, it's not just the kids. It's really the adults. This is what happened last week, right? Even though there was a loss, I had what I would call a very significant loss in week 4. Still pulled out a nice profit for the month. Still put out nice profits for the month. All right. This is our SPX. And this goes right in line with our Option Seller Zone membership. Inside of our membership, we do SPX and XSP on a daily basis. Now, I could, populate some other receipts, as they call them, and I may put some of those on social media where other people have showed their profits. I don't ever share people's names. I don't do folks like that. I'll put my name out there. I don't put other people's names out there. But there's other people who've made nice profits through the month as well, right? So if you ready to get consistent, with your trading and with your profits, because really what it's about is the profits. You're ready to get consistent with the profits, you can come on and join us in the membership. SPX and XSP 0 DTE. We've added some 1 DTE. I'm still working the 1 DTE. I like it, boy. I like it, but I want it to do what it do. I want that Thursday drop over Thursday night, Friday morning got us. Friday morning it got us because that overnight thing into the first of the month tariff thing, it got us. So it's very key. One of the things I have to remember, and those in my community, y'all continue to remind me, is we have to really think about what are the huge binary events that will happen overnight. Because somehow in my mind, I knew about the 8/1 tariff thing starting, but that kind of got dropped to the bottom of my mind. And it wasn't forefront enough in my mind, because if it had been more forefront in my mind, I probably we wouldn't have gone into that. But I'm human too. And I've never acted like I was not human. And I've definitely shared my transparency, which is why you see this list right here. And week 4 says negative $6,235, because I will share the wins and the losses, because I really decided early on I would be as transparent as I could be, because sometimes people don't let you be transparent, but as transparent as I can be, I decided I would be. So that's where we are with that. Okay. Let me see, where are we now? Where are we? I think we're ready to now go. Oh, we're ready to go to Adam, I believe. Yep, we're ready to go to Adam. Adam's numbers after a sale like Friday, because Friday was a sale of all sales. Ooh-wee. If you was riding puts, though, on Friday, you rode them till the wheels fell off. After a sale like Friday, always comes the short squeeze in SPX. And all targets were hit. As posted at 2 p.m. on Friday, 62.30 to 33 reclaimed with target 62.50, 57, 71, 73. We also got it 6 p.m. last evening. Now, Adam talks because he trades the ES, which is futures, which trades at night. So he's talking about stuff that happened last evening when SPX was not trading. The plan, work is done. Hold your runners. 62.78, 62.84, 62.92 is above. So he's looking at closing back in on 6,300. If 62.68 fails, then we dip to 62.55, 62.30, and 62.33, somewhere in that range. The gap between ES and SPX is 27 points. And I'm going to take us to a chart here in a minute. So we're going to be able to see exactly what he's talking about. If you're trading XSP, the range is from 623 to 630 if you want that outside range. From 623 to 630 is that. If you're in my community, you already have this chart. If you're following Adam, he is on Twitter or on X. He trades the ES. So you need this gap number in order to convert his numbers through the day. He's trading ES. We trade SPX. So you need to have the difference so that way you're looking at SPX numbers and not ES numbers. Okay. Okay. Put those numbers on your chart. Grab your screenshot. If you're not in my community, if you are in my community, you should have this in your chart. All right. Let's go to the charts. I think I'm there now. I've covered what I wanted to cover in the slides. I'll swing back to E2T University because that's going to open up here in about a week, about 2 weeks actually. The 18th, I think, is when it opens up for payment. It's coming fast. I'm excited about what E2T University is going to offer to the folks who are ready to ride, because I know there are people who follow me who are like, oh goodness, I did not mean for y'all to see all those lines. People who are ready to ride, who are like, let's see what we're doing, let's see where we're going, and would like to be along for the ride. And I want you to be learned. I want you to be ready and educated to be along for the ride. I'm not one who necessarily provides fish for the long term. In my community, I do provide fish, but I provide fish while we're learning how to fish. So I don't want you to be hungry while you're learning, because some people take a little longer to learn than others. So while we're learning, I will feed you. Does that make sense? But as along the way, I want you to be learning how to catch your own fish. I won't let you be hungry while you're learning. So we will eat while we're learning. In my community, that's what happens. But I teach you how to fish. And for those who want to learn how to fish, that's what we got E2T University for. All right. So this is a weekly chart we're looking at. This is SPX on the weekly chart. Janae, this would look like a pivot machine gun almost, huh? This is the weekly. So for several weeks, we climb. And then in 1 week, it said, ooh, let me get y'all who just riding along for the weeklies and riding along from week to week and month to month. Let's swap a lot of y'all out. It stop lost off these people, stop lost off these people, and it's trying to go for them. And it might still, we don't know what it's going to do for this. So this is, anyway, last week, this is what SPX did last week. It opened at 63.97 and it closed at 62.38. So basically 150 points, 160 points was lost last week in SPX. Okay, that's what SPX did last week. Let's go to a daily chart so we can see what happens on the daily. And it's a lot of lines. I realize that. Just bear with it, okay? I'm leaving them on here because when it comes trading time, these lines are helpful. Okay, so this is the daily chart. Last week, this was Monday the 28th. We basically had a down week. We ran right up. Had a gap. This gap actually got filled, looks like here, so we can take it off our chart. This gap here got filled. We can take it off our chart Wednesday, the market went and got this gap that was down in the 63.68 area. It also went and said, yep, I'm down here. Let me go and get this one down in the 63.59 area. I'm going to take this one out because y'all don't need it. And then it went on. This was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. Woo, gap up, thinking we going somewhere. Gapped up to 64.27 and dropped the rest of the day. A gap was left from the 22nd to the 23rd that is still here. This gap was not filled. And then from Thursday to Friday, we gapped down massively. This was I'm going to call it the tariff gap. They can call it the jobs gap if they want to. I'm not saying, I don't believe it was based on no jobs, but they can blame it on whatever. And of course, it could be both. It don't have to be one or the other. It could be both things. But this is the big gap down. That was from Thursday to Friday. It's going to remain to be filled. SPX does like filling its gaps. Will it fill it today? We'll see. It remains to be seen. But you know what we do? We trade what we see. That's what we do. But this gap is here. Currently, SPX 500 is at 62.72. So if we're looking at where is SPX right now, it is hiding. It's in here. It's somewhere in the middle of this not upper part of this red candle. You see my mouse moving here. That's where current price of SPX is. If I was to switch to the SPX 500 chart, it would be in this area here. That's where it is. Okay. So going back upwards, potentially to go back and get some of this gap. We'll see. Could it get back up to 6,300 and move on through? We'll see. Trade what you see, baby. Trade what you see, baby. That's what you do. Okay, let's go see what SPX looks like. I'm going to take us to a smaller time frame and look at our pre-market. It'll take me to a 15. Is this oh, I need to go to SPY. I'm ready. I'll say, where are all these lines? I know my SPY doesn't have all those lines on it. Who knew? Because those lines, even though they're on SPX and even though they're helpful, your girl be struggling. Like, I can't do all these lines, but I need those lines, so I have to make myself deal with them. Because they are quite helpful during the day. But when I get to the 15-minute chart and stretch it out, I don't see them all at one time. It's when I put it on the daily that they're there. Anyway, this is SPY. SPY is currently where? Where are we currently? Where are you? Where's the current price? Where's the current price? Oh, there it is. Duh. 625. It wasn't changed. It wasn't orange. I didn't know that's where it was. It was green. 625 is the current price. Closed on Friday. What? It should have my little thing here. It's maybe because I'm in the window of opening window. So it usually gives me it usually shows me the color of the pre-market color. I'm in extended trading time. It should be showing me the pre-market. You know how you see it usually shows a different color so I can see what's the pre-market. Maybe it's down here. Nope. Okay, it's showing me here, but it usually gives me a color so I'll know the difference between the previous day and today. Anyway, it closed at 621 on Friday. SPY closed at 621. It's currently at 625. There is a gap up open. That will happen. At this point, we're about 23 minutes from the open. It's at 625 is where SPY is right now. 625 and some change. Triple Q. Similar situation. It closed on Friday at 553. It's currently at 558, about 5 points higher than it closed the other day. Okay, IWM closed on Friday at 215, currently at 216.22. IWM generally comes late to the party. It's small cap, but when it moves, now it decides it's gonna move. It may be coming late to the party, but it'll move. It will move too. I have, you know what else is going on? I have all of my indicators. This needs to be reset because all of my indicators are not even showing up, or I can't even turn them on or off. I need to refresh. All right. That's where we are on all three of those charts. I will look at SPX 500 before I go off this screen so we can see where is SPX. 62.72 right now is where SPX is 22 minutes before the market opens. 62.72. All right. We closed on Friday at 62.35. So we're about 37 points above where we were on Friday. SPX is, not we, but it might as well be we, because as much as I look at SPX and trade SPX, I feel like I'm part of the family. I feel like I'm part of the family. Let's go see what I want to refresh this while I reload while I work on this. Pre-market and CNBC. Okay, it's refreshing too. Refreshing. The VIX. Let me see if I can refresh this. Too many things refreshing at the same time. It'll act like it don't know what to do. Okay, E2T University. Ready to turn trading into a skill that serves your freedom. One of the things and you all have followed me to other places in the world and to other countries. I like to travel a little bit. I like to travel a little bit, right? Go places, do things. I like to go and do stuff. One of the things I really love about trading is it can literally go with you anywhere. It can go with you anywhere. You can be anywhere that you got a Wi-Fi connection. You can take it with you, and it doesn't require a bunch of equipment. It doesn't require a bunch of people. It doesn't. It just requires you, right? You just can go wherever you want to go with this. You can be chilling on the beach in Bali. You can be sitting at a hostel in Havana. Wherever you want to be, you can be there and be trading and be free. You don't have to be in or you can be in your pajamas, sitting in your bedroom right here in Chicago. If you're in Chicago, you can be right where you are. It's wherever you want to be, right? And I love that. I love that about it. It's one of the things that makes me continue to work at mastering this is the fact that it can go with me anywhere. When I first started trading and learning how to trade, I lived in Guatemala. I was teaching in Guatemala. I started learning how to trade in Guatemala, right? And then I in Guatemala. I started learning how to trade. Yes, I started learning how to trade Forex, which that's another story for another day. And then I moved to Bahrain. I came home. I moved to Bahrain and traded there, and I really honed the skill with options in Bahrain. But I lived there, and where the time trade, I would start trading at 3 in the afternoon and trade until 11 because that was where the hours of the market, according to Bahrain. And that's how the day went for me. And I've moved back to the US. I've traveled to other places, but this skill is something that you'll have forever. As long as you got Wi-Fi, you can trade this. E2T University is going to open up. You can join the wait list here. I'll put the link into the chat. So that way you can join the wait list and be ready when it opens up. All right. You can be ready when it opens up and you can come on and learn. I am an educator. Anybody who's followed me knows that this is what I do. I educate. We're going to have 12 weeks of learning. We're going to start with the basics. We'll add on charting. We'll add on strategies. We'll add on risk management. We'll add on how do you make money every day? How do you make money every week? Yeah, we'll get to that. We won't start with making money because if you don't know the foundation, you just going to lose money. If we jump into the money part, you're going to lose money. And we're after, how do we get you to making money for the long term, not just making some money here and there. We want you to be able to make money into the long term. Every week, we're going to get live strategy walkthroughs, prep sessions. We're going to have training. We're going to be in a online classroom setting. You're going to be in a place where you're going to be able to ask questions. You're going to be accountable. We're going to do some homework. We're going to do an educational setting. It's not going to be overwhelming. I realize people have lives. So I have a life. So it's not going to overwhelm you. But it's going to be something where what you put into it is going to be what you get out of it. Because that's how education works. It's going to require seat time. This ain't something you're going to learn on the fly. It's going to require you to sit and learn. All right. So E2T University, I put the link in the chat there. There's that. Okay. There is that. Let me go to that screen. 12-week program from beginner to mastery. I think that's okay. The membership, we talked about that already. If you wanted to join the membership, there's that. There is that. I think I've almost covered everything I wanted to cover. Let me go and make sure. I wanted to see what CNBC had. It never did populate back like I wanted it to. Oh, there it is. Let me go back to that screen first because I wanted to hit CNBC just before we closed out the call. Stocks making the biggest moves pre-market. Semiconductors on on semiconductors, Wayfair, Spotify, Tesla, and more. Y'all can't see that. Add to the stage. I'm thinking it's on the screen and it's not. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. On semiconductors. Dow futures is up, S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, all of those are up. It says stock futures jump as Wall Street. I don't know if that's the case. Okay, so that's where we are with that. Pre-market is all green at this point. You saw that we've got the gap up open going again. Please trade what you see. Just trade what you see, okay? As sellers, we don't have to rush in because we've got time on our side. So we don't have to rush in. We can watch and see how the stuff fall out, because all the orders right now at the beginning of the open of the market are all the orders from people over the weekend are going to throw in those orders, and the market has to process those. So you don't need to be in the midst of all of that. Just wait and see. Wait and see. All right. The VIX is at 1911. Still up. So again, watch, as well as pray, as they say. Watch as well as pray. All right. So let's go on and do our declaration. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses, and my account is growing steadily. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I'm a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. Next screen. Next screen. Uh-oh, now I hit it twice. It's going to go to the next screen. Sit still. I quit hitting buttons. Lord, that you gives us the power to get wealth. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. I know we're getting ready. The kids are getting ready to go back to school. So bless all the children who are going back to school, the parents, the educators, all that goes along with that, because it's a lot. All right. I'm an educator. Of course, I educate at the university level, but that don't mean I'm not aware of what it takes to educate at all the levels, because I have taught middle school. So I know what is required of an educator at the other levels. Lord of mercy. So pray over the people, over the teachers, over the school systems, over the leadership, and over those children who have to try to be on. First few days, of course, the kids going to be sleeping and hungry and all the things that happen. The teacher got to manage all of the things because they've been in the summertime mode all this time. So watch over the children, Lord, and the teachers and all the people who are trying to do this job and trying to educate the next generation. All righty, you all, we're going to do two things. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money. And the third thing is we're going to have a great green day. We've got 14 minutes before the market opens. Grab you a cup of coffee, settle your mind, settle your heart, settle your spirit, and just know, review your trading plan. Get yourself ready for the day, right? Get yourself ready for the day. All righty. I will see you all in the market. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye. I'm trying to make it stop, but it won't stop. End the stream.